Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So Donald Trump finally has allegedly made this decision to return eventually, presumably very shortly here, to Facebook and Twitter. He had been banned off of Twitter for quite some time. His Facebook account, he got a 2-year suspension from there, but apparently he now has decided that he will return to these platforms. He was reinstated on Twitter earlier this year, or I guess the end of last year, technically speaking, after Elon took over and he put it up to a poll. But this is definitely interesting news ahead of 2024 and in terms of Trump's chances, because I've said for a while that if he is going to be a viable candidate to come back and lead this massive political comeback story, he's going to have to go out there and use the social media platforms that helped get him elected back in 2016 in the first place. So we're going to dive into this. We're also going to be talking about some other things that are going on in the Trump campaign that are some positive and some negative. But I also first have to tell you guys about redeaglepolitics.com. If you have not signed up yet, I would highly encourage you to do so. For just $5 a month or 16 cents a day or so, you get access to all of my exclusive videos. You get an extra video a week that does not go on the channel. You also get access to all of my newsletter posts as well as the REP Discord server. We also do have merchandise on the store as well. It's not going to be around forever, maybe gone in a week or so, so make sure that you guys buy your rep merch while you still can. But furthermore, this is very crucial that Donald Trump, if he actually wants to win in 2024, win the primary, because now it seems as if he's going to be having a contested primary. Not really any viable candidates have thrown their hat in the ring, but it is true that a lot of the GOP establishment, a lot of the donor class are doing what they can do to draft Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, to run. And now he is leading nearly every single head-to-head poll against Donald Trump since the midterms. And while I still think that Donald Trump could win that primary, and if he somehow unifies the party behind him again, yes, he can win the general election, but still, he's going to have to change his strategy because he's kind of on the downward trajectory here in terms of his prominence within the right wing and within conservatism, within the Republican Party, even among his own original base who supported him ever since he came down the escalator back in 2015. And if he's able to use social media to talk to these people, to talk to his base, that's definitely going to help him. This article talks about how he has been reportedly discussing a return to Facebook and Twitter. Again, it seems as if he is going to get his accounts unblocked on Facebook and Instagram from Meta. He already has access to his Twitter account as well. I don't know what his first tweets are going to be. Like I said, he can keep Truth Social, but he's going to have to use both. He could, screenshot his truth posts to the other social media platforms. That's going to help him grow his own platform while still maintaining some sense of viability within these mainstream social media platforms, because that's the arena we're in. You may not like these platforms or whatever, but the truth is a lot of people that have Truth Social probably have it downloaded on their phones. They don't even open it like once a day even. And they're probably more likely to see Trump's truth posts posted by some other Twitter account to, Twitter, or if they see it on some other social media platform, whatever it is. But basically, it's going to allow Trump to return to the public eye more. It's going to make him be more viable as a result, whether you support Trump or whether you think that he needs to step aside for DeSantis, because I put the polls out on my community tab. It's roughly 50-50. Listen, we understand there are arguments people are going to make in favor of one way or the other, but regardless, it is true that Trump needs to change his trajectory if he wants to go out there and he wants to win. You look at the search term Donald Trump over the past 5 years or so. It is not exactly where it was before. He'll pop up here in the media every once in a while, but the guy announced his 2024 run. He's only down there at 15 in the search analytics. And we could say that, oh, well, DeSantis is lower, and that's true, but he's just a governor of Florida. Trump is a former president. He should have a higher name recognition. Right now, you look at it, he's not really doing that hot in terms of him in the analytics. He's not being talked about by media. Fox News, the whole conservative media establishment is doing everything they can do to turn against him by just ignoring him, which is something that they didn't do back in 2016. It kind of allowed him to rise to prominence within the GOP off of all of the free media that he got. But still, he's going to have to get the base back on board regardless if he wants to be viable. He's going to have to bring the fire. He's going to have to bring the energy. He's allegedly going to start doing rallies again, which is a good step in the right direction, because if he's doing rallies, especially indoor rallies at arenas and things like that, the energy levels, even during his presidency, was still off the chain to a large degree. But his best days in terms of his energy was, 2016 during that whole election cycle. I mean, he was on fire. It was amazing. He's going to have to return to that. He's going to have to go back and, watch the tape, watch his speeches from back then, and see what he could do even 8 years later, 8 years older, and try and replicate that if he wants to go out there and defeat both party establishments again, because that's what he's going to have to do. It's probably not a good idea to be doing rallies with Lindsey Graham or other members of the South Carolina congressional delegation, which again has gotten better over the past 6 years or so. But if Nancy Mace is in that category, somebody who Trump campaigned against in 2022 even, not a good look. Lindsey Graham is a snake. He did everything he could do to subvert Trump's agenda during his first term. He's only supporting Trump because he believes there's a chance that he could get a second term, and then because he's an early supporter of it, that he will have an increased role in an attempt to subvert Trump's original agenda at every turn that he possibly can. We know that. In terms of Governor Henry McMaster, that's a very good endorsement to have. McMaster is very solid, but there are a lot of members of the South Carolina GOP that are so weak, and Trump even called Lindsey Graham a rhino like a year ago. And that was a really big step in the right direction for character development. Why exactly is he doing a rally with him now? And if he's going to need to get the base on board, he's going to have to prove himself. He's going to have to stay on message, 2016 style. Definitely. He's going to have to move the Overton window and bring the energy to compete. And when he's doing things like holding rallies with Lindsey Graham, when he's doing things like staying off of social media or, putting out these statements that even though I know that he's not attacking the base, it looks like he is in the eyes of a lot of people who are open to something else, even if that something else is weaker than it's really portrayed to be by conservative media. It's not helping his case. It's really not. And he's going to have to understand that moving forward and keep bringing the fire. And like I said, he's hanging out with Lindsey Graham. We called a rhino last year. The energy's not where it was in the announcement speech. The messaging was decent. The energy was meh. You could say it was in a formal setting, although his first speech was also kind of in a formal setting back in 2015 when he announced. And I know he's older, but still the energy level does play a role in terms of actually getting voters out to vote. I said he wouldn't get back on Twitter, which this has been proven false. So maybe he's listening. I don't know. I hope he's watching. He might pick Noam or Stefanik for VP. A lot of his VP choices are just a mess. And I do grow more skeptical every day that he has what it takes to go out there and defeat both party establishments. And I say this as somebody who still supports him. I want him to do well down the stretch, obviously. There are legitimate gripes with Ron DeSantis. I believe he's a very good governor. Does that mean that overnight it's going to make him a great executive, a great president? Not necessarily. Is he better than a lot of these other options out there that Republican establishment members have been touting for years to potentially take up the mantle, like Pence and Haley? Of course, I would prefer DeSantis to those two. But let's not fool ourselves into believing that he's 100% our guy, but he's getting things done. I think that the base really wants somebody in there that is getting things done. That's kind of why you see conservative media propping him up. But let's not be fooled. Look at who's supporting him. Look at who's funding him. Look at his biggest early backers and donors. And why do they exactly support him? Probably, we know, it's for the wrong reasons. But either way, there's kind of this level of disillusionment all around. And I still support Trump, but there is legitimate criticism. Now, this is a good thing. I will say. I hope he gets back on Facebook. I hope he gets back on Twitter. And that way, maybe he'll look at the responses. Maybe he'll look and see what's going on. Maybe he'll take some constructive criticism from the base. I know Trump isn't somebody that's really known or has a reputation for liking criticism, but we'll really just have to wait and see. But either way, him returning to Twitter really could kick the 2024 campaign underway. I said he'd return eventually. I believe that he couldn't stay away from it. And now it seems as if that is the case, and it seems as if he will be returning, and we'll see how it goes. But definitely him being in the political arena is going to boost his chances. He's going to have to go into the fire. He's going to have to go to mainstream social media, mainstream media. You can't just be doing the interviews on, One American News or Newsmax or whatever. You have to go to Fox. You even have to go at times to the liberal mainstream media as well, in an attempt to just get your name recognition out there, give your platform to the normies more. He could talk about his policy, which again, from what I've seen, is actually improved. He released that whole big tech plan, even though it got overshadowed by the very questionable NFT thing. So if he's able to be on social media, mainstream social media, and convey his message in an effective manner, if he's going to do these rallies and bring the energy, he'll be viable. If not, it's not looking too great for him, but we'll just really have to wait and see. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.